It's Grand Center Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Today on this snowy evening, little flockulators. I want to see the snow. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's coming down pretty heavy tonight, as y'all can see. But we still gonna flockulate and come together to eat this manna that come from heaven. Little flockulators. And I indeed do have some manna that come from heaven. Yesterday, I posted a video, and when I was done with the video, before I had uploaded it, I was done recording it, I felt a certain energy. I just happened to be sitting there and I felt a certain energy in the ether around me. And I said, Father, what is this energy that I feel? What is this? And he gave me a word. And that word is gangustes. Gangustes. That's the word Abba gave me. And as usual, I didn't totally understand what Abba was saying to me when he said gangustes. But of course, as always, he taught me and revealed it to me exactly what he was saying by saying gangustes to me. Gangustes is a Greek word, and that word means to murmur, to complain, to grumble, to be a grumbler. Grumbling is a way of speaking under your breath, okay? Like a complaint. Somebody having a complaint, how do they talk when they have a complaint? How do you speak when you have a complaint? Under your breath. When you are expressing discontentment, how do you do that? Will you do it by murmuring, by complaining, or in other words, by gangustes? You see? That's how you express discontentment. You see? And it's typically expressed in a covert, indirect manner. Little flockulators. You see that? So this gangustes takes place in a covert manner. This grumbling, complaining, and murmuring is done covertly. What does covert mean, little flockulators? It means hidden. Not clear and easy to be seen to the eye. You see that, little flockulators? Because it's being done under the surface. Well, that under the surface, that's where Abba's looking, as I've always said. So it really doesn't matter if you've allowed men to not see you gangustes. It matters if Abba has seen you gangustes, and he sees you, especially if you're trying to do it covertly. You see that? So now, do you have any examples of gangustes in the Bible? Well, what about the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt? When they grumbled, murmured, and complained against Moses, Aaron, and the Most High, right? Now, this gangustes, what does it demonstrate? When a man exhibits gangustes, grumbling, murmuring, and complaining because he's discontent, where does it come from? It comes from his lack of faith. It shows that he has doubt. You understand that? It shows he has no faith. That's what gangustes shows. So when I said, what is this energy I'm feeling, Abba? Abba was telling me it is the gangustes of the people. Do y'all hear me, little flockulators? Y'all especially better be hearing me. So that you don't get caught up in this gangustes. You see what I'm saying to you? You won't get caught up in it if you truly, fully, and totally over, and understand the name of the Father, which we're going to do today so that you can have comfort from your discontentment. You can find relief from your dissatisfaction. And if you find that relief and that comfort, you will no longer gangustes. That's the goal. We don't want to gangustes, do we? We understand what that proves that we are when we murmur and complain. It proves that we are faithless when we do that. Now, Abba has already told me that many of the brotherhood are becoming gangustes. So, if you happen to be the Cinderella with the Cinderella slippers landing on your feet, the ganguste slippers landing on your feet right now, don't feel bad about it, because Abba's the one that's revealing it, not me, not nothing that I have come up with and concocted to try to single you out or anything. It's Abba doing this because he is the one who doesn't want his people complaining. That proves the state of mind that you're in when you're in Gangustes. It proves that you're carnally minded and not one with the Father. So I'm going to help you understand the Father better so that you can understand how you're not one with him when you're in Gangustes. You see? Because it feels natural for us to complain, to feel sad, to feel bad when we don't get the desires of our heart. But Yahushua said, you shall ask anything and you will receive it. So how come you're not receiving the thing that you're hoping for? Because that's what's got the brothers grumbling. Abba has told me. See? The Gangustes is coming out of the brotherhood, out of some of you who are listening to me, because you have not received the thing your heart longs for. You have not received the desire of your heart. And so since you have not received the desire of your heart, Ganguste starts to come. This is why the examples with the children of Israel coming out of Egypt, when they complained and murmured, what was the first thing they complained about? Water. What was another thing they complained about? You brought us out here to die. Now the army of Egypt is going to come down and destroy us here at the Red Sea. Is that what happened? No. So then why were they murmuring and complaining? Because they were faithless and perverse. You see it? That's why. They entered not into his rest because of their unbelief. Not because the rest wasn't there or the rest wasn't available. It was they didn't believe it that it was. You see it? So how do you find the rest concerning the desire you're having? Because that's what we're talking about. Y'all better listen up nice and good, little flock. If you're wise, you'll hear this message because it's going to benefit you greatly, as I always say, this especially. Why do you have a desire for something, and when you don't have it, you become discontent? If Abba says, I will give you the desires of your heart. It is my good pleasure to do such a thing. So then how come you're discontent with not receiving the desire of your heart? Can you answer that question? Well, I'm going to help you answer it. It is because you ask amiss. Interesting. I'm asking amiss. I'm not asking correctly. That's right. Most people, when they ask for something or they make a request known, they're making a request known for a thing they desire. Hear me nice and good, little flock. They're searching for a thing that they desire, and their heart is set upon that thing. They don't know that that's idolatry. Your heart is not to be set upon a thing that you desire. It is to be set upon a state of being that is to be desired. Because if you worship the state of being, then who are you worshiping? The living God, whose name is I am. See it there, little flockulators? Not it is, but that's what you're doing when you are lauding up a desire in your heart for something outside of the state of being. Man, can y'all hear this, what I'm saying to you today? We're going to get into it, little flockulators, so don't worry about it. Now we understand that word that Abba gave me, gangustes, grumbler, complainer, murmurer. You see that? Israelites had a history of doing this, and when they did that, they died. So when you're doing it, what are you doing? You're dying. You're not becoming the thing. You are dying from the state, aren't you? I don't have it. That's why I'm discontent, because I don't have. See it there, little flockulators? So you're dying away from the state of the man who would be if he had it. See, you're thinking about the it. You're not thinking about the state of being you would be in if you had it. Because the state of being is what you're seeking for. That is your desire. But most men don't know that. So they go along grumbling and fumbling over idols, not realizing, wait a minute, I'm in idol worship when I do that. I'm not serving the living God I am. Now we're going to get into it, all right? Now, when you go to the Strong's Concordance of the Bible, you will see a word in there. It's word 1961. If you guys want to look it up and follow along with me in the Strong's Concordance, go to the Strong's and go to the word Haya, which is 1961. All right? And watch how this juicy smorgasbord is about to unfold for us. knowing the Father's name, how it will actually teach us to have the desire, so therefore we are now content and no longer discontent, which causes us to murmur and complain, which is going on amongst the brotherhood right now. A lot of murmuring and complaining because brothers feel alone, because brothers feel friendless, because brothers are, isn't this right? Some of you who are listening to me, you feel companionless. Some of you want relationships that you don't have. Some of you want things you don't have. Some of you want different living circumstances. Some of you want different working circumstances. Some of you want all these different things. You see what I'm saying to you? Okay, well, we're going to discover today the way to get it through the Father's name. Okay? Because the way to get it is not that thing. It is the Father. And I'm going to teach you that. You see? So now that word haya, it means to be, to become, to come to pass, exist, to happen. Now watch this good, little flock. The Greek equivalent, because that's the Hebrew word, chaya, the Greek equivalent often used in the New Testament. So the Greek equivalent of the word chaya, equivalent means equal. So the Greek equivalent to the word chaya, used in the New Testament to express being or existence, as seen in Yahushua's declaration of I am from John 8:58. See, before Abraham was, I am. So that means being or existence. Is that the same name that the grandson said I came in? Since Yahushua said he came in the Father's name? See it? See how they're breaking it down for you in the Strongs? That that's what it means? It means the same thing as the Hebrew word chaya, I am, in the Greek. You see it? The Hebrew word chaya is a fundamental term in the Old Testament, often translated as to be or to become. You see that, little flock? It conveys the idea of existence, occurrence, or coming into being. You see it? This verb is pivotal in expressing states of being and the unfolding of events. It is frequently used in the context of God's self-revelation, as seen in the divine name, I am. Exodus 3:14. See, little flockulators. Chaya. It means to become. It is expressed in that divine name, I am. That is the divine name of God, I am. That expresses becoming something. So like I said, when you desire something, listen good, little flock, you getting the manna from heaven right now. If you say you not, then I don't know what you're looking for. Because this is going to give you specific type of rest to a specific type of problem, which is gangustes. This message is the remedy to the gangustes that's going around among the brotherhood. That's causing them to become sick and weary and bitter and stressed out, sad and cold-hearted. That's what it's going to cause if you don't take this medicine that I'm giving here, which is the Father's name means to become. That's what I am means. To bring to pass, to fall out and become something. So when you're wanting a certain situation, you're actually looking for the state of being that the situation would cause you to be in. So let's say you want a wife today. What state of being would it take to have that wife? Then that's what you need to pray for. See what I'm saying? Man will pray for a wife instead of praying for the state of being that will allow him to receive a wife. Oh my goodness gracious. Can y'all hear it right now being broken down as usual at the School of Marvelous Light here? Can you hear it? Even got my lion's mane on. Can you hear me today, little flockulators? Your search is for the state of being so that you can become it. And once you are, then you say, I am that. So then your prayer should be, I am a wonderful husband. If your desire is for a wife. But how many men have taught you to pray that prayer instead of pray for a good wife? Pray for a woman, brother. Pray for one. Instead of praying for the state of being, which is, I am a wonderful husband. Is that what you want to be? Is that the desire of your heart? Because if it's not, then you won't be a husband. You won't get the gift. You see it? A wicked woman is given to a wicked man as his portion, but a righteous woman is given to a righteous man. You see that there, little flockulators? So it's contingent on what desire you truly have in your heart, because that's what he's going to give you. You see it? What desire do you have to become? Now, it's not going to do me any good to tell you it's about desiring to become something if you don't see desire in the name of God. But if you do, then you understand the grandson has just unveiled a mystery to you. Now, let's see. All right. What else we got here on Haya? The verb Haya reflects the understanding, emphasizing the active presence and involvement of God in the world. The use of Haya in the context of God's name underscores his eternal self-existent nature, distinguishing him from the gods of surrounding nations. See, the living God, you see, which means to fall out, to come to pass, to become, or to be. I am. You see that there, little flockulators? Nah. We're going to delve a little deeper here. We're going to delve a little deeper, because that's what we do here at the School of Marvelous Light. All right. Now, it says this word has a primitive root. Compare hava. Y'all hear that, little flock? So see the Hebrew word hawa or hava, hawa. You see that? Hawahaya, hawahia, hawahia. These are the sounds that we're digging in, excavating, and discovering. You see it? So now, Hawa or Hawa means to become. You see how it's connected to the other word, Haya? Hawa and Haya. You see it? Hawa is to become, to be. So when you hear the word Yahuwah, see the Hawa you hear? This is what you're saying. You're saying to become, to be, to exist. You see it? It's the same thing as Haya. You understand that there, little flockulators? All right? It means to breathe as well, to be. Now, this word Haya comes from two words, Awa and Haya. Now we need to understand what the word Awa means. Awa or Ava. You see that? Awa means to desire. Oh my goodness gracious, little flock. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? As we start to break the root of the words down, where did this word come from? Where did this word come from? Where did this word come from? When we get to the root of it, it means to desire, listen, to crave, to long for, to wish for. So do you see how his name literally means to become what you wish for? Gosh golly! Can you hear the jewels coming down? Did you ever know that? That God's name literally means to become what I desire. So if I desire something, I must become that. And once I become that, then I am that I am. And that is God. That is being a God-like man that claims what he wants from the beginning. He claims the end of a thing from the beginning. And the end of a thing is that I am that. That's the end of it. So then I claim that from the beginning of what I want. I desire to be that. Well, then I am that. Not it is that, and that's why I want it. I am that. So I'm a wonderful husband. See that there, little flockulators? Not I'm looking for a wife. I am that husband, I am. You see it? Can you hear it today? Because your desire or your nature being made in God's image, your nature is the desire to become something. So how do you become something without his name? You can't. That's why he said, don't take my name in vain. Don't take it in lies. So how can you say you want a wife, but you're not saying, I am that husband? So then who is your wife's husband if it ain't you, but you want a wife? Huh? In order to have something, you got to be something. So in order to have a wife, what must you be? The good husband. So then if you want to pray for a wife, what must you pray for? Oh my goodness. But how many people told you to pray like that? How many people told you to pray like that? The desire to crave, to long for, to wish for, to reach out. Do you hear these words? That's what the word means, to reach out. It conveys the idea of a strong desire or longing for, a strong yearning or craving for something. Do you hear it? The strong desire reaching out for wanting something. And that's Ava. So now when you see Adam, watch! When you see Adam, what did Abba say? You need to help me? Okay, I'm going to make one for you. And he called her Hava. See? Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I desire you to be one with you again. I desire to make you one with my flesh again, because that's where you came from. So that's his desire. Well, his desire is, what did it say about Eve? Your desire shall be for the man. Oh my goodness. Y'all can't hear it. Your desire shall be to become. Your desire, your feelings desire is going to be for the right thought so that you can become that thing. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the husband is the thinker. The wife is the feeler. She's waiting to feel the thoughts that you give her. She can't feel anything if you don't give her the thoughts. She will feel the wrong feelings if you give her the wrong thoughts. If you give her the right thoughts, she will become the right feelings, which will make you one flesh. Correct? Happy wife, happy life. Ain't that what they say? Can you understand that from the context of the grandson's message that he's given to you today? That is about your desire. You think it's for that thing over there. It's not. It's for the state of being that it will cause you to feel. That is the desire. So then pray for that instead, because the righteous prayer of a righteous man availeth much. But you have to know how to pray like a righteous man prays. So if I'm lying to you, then I won't have any examples of how I've prayed like this, but I'm going to use the same example that I've always used. What did I pray for when they had me locked up in jail? What was my prayer? What words was I saying? I've said it many times. What are they? I am free. Is that a state of being? Yes. So do you see why I got the desire of my heart? Because I prayed believing. I prayed not amiss, but correctly. I prayed for the state of being. I am free. Not help me get out of jail. Not help me to be released. Father, I'm not praying like that. I am free. I'm looking. My desire is that state, that I am free. That is my desire. Can you hear us right there in his name? Hawa Haya. To desire to become. Abba desires to become through you. So are you going to allow that to be? Or are you going to kick against the pricks of him being through you? In other words, living through you. Are you going to be a living sacrifice so that he may live through you? How can he live through you if you're discontent? Abba's not discontented because there's nothing that can block him from having the desire he longed for. He is that. So then if you're, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, then what should you say? I wish I had that? Wishing you had it is saying you are it. That's wishing you had it. So are you that, my brother? Now see, in the process of becoming, you have to be changed into that image. That's going to take some time for you to be conformed into his new image that you're claiming. If you didn't have a wife, you were existing on a certain frequency. In order to have a wife, you must exist on another frequency. You can't stay on the same radio station and hear a different type of music genre. You only hear the music genre change when you change the station. Well, so it is with your life. You want the genre to change. You're alone. You have nobody with you, but yet you want a companion. Then you need to change your station and become a new man. The only way you can become a new man is think in your heart that you are. I am that I am. That is God's name. Are you taking it in truth? Or are you taking it in vain? Well, being alone makes me feel discontent. So if I feel discontent, then I believe that I am that man that is alone. Oh my God. But if I am content, then I'm proving I believe that I am that man that has that companion. I'm proving it. In other words, I am that man that has my desire that I've longed for. Because I'm content. Because that's what happens when you have it. So to prove that I believe I have it, I become content. When I'm not content, I'm proving I don't have it. Well, I'm proving that I'm looking for it by sight and not by faith. But if I'm doing it righteously, then am I going by sight? No, I'm going by faith. So then I'm proving that my hope is in something that I can't see. That's why I'm hoping for it. Because I can't see it. That is my hope. Faith, evidence of the thing hoped for. Substance of the thing hoped for, evidence not seen. Click. Clickety click. Wow. Can this be denied what the grandson is saying? Can it be fought against? I don't think it can be. I don't think it can be. It was just that the brotherhood has been praying wrongfully. They don't know the Father. So the more you know the Father, the better you can pray. Wait a minute. The Father means to desire to become. That's what it means. So what do I desire to become? What is it? You know. What is it you desire to be? Not what is it you desire to acquire. Because you know whose mark that is. A man whose name means to acquire. Did you know that there's a man in the Bible whose name means to acquire? And did you know that his name is Cain or Cain? Did you know that? So then when you're looking for the thing to acquire, you don't get the thing you acquire, and then you also lose your life. But when you're looking for the state of being, then you keep your life and you have the thing you desire. See how it works? Go to Romans chapter 8. All right. We won't go much longer in this particular message because I think it's been made clear what it is. And I don't want you to lose that nugget of information, but I want you to keep it in your pocket so that you can remember when you become discontent what state of mind you're in. Not what's going on outside of you or what God didn't do for you yet, or maybe God don't hear you. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's in you is where it come from. So if you're discontent, you don't believe that you have it. Oh yeah, you're right, grandson. Shit. I only believe I have it if I'm content. That's right. Now you have to rest in that contentment if you believe it. But what if it takes a long time, grandson? Then I want you to listen to what Abraham had to do and Sarah. Because you're their children, aren't you? If you have faith, then you're the son of Abraham. Correct? Because he's the father of those who have faith. Why? Because he waited for a long time for his manifestation to come, which was that son of promise. Correct? Against all odds, it came, didn't it? Right then. Romans chapter 8, verse 22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting. What? Why are they groaning? Because they're waiting. So what does waiting cause you to do? Groan. See? Abba understands and he knows that. Nobody wants to wait for what they desire for. But you have to become that. For instance, you want to be the heavyweight champion of the world. So you've never did one training regimen, but you're going there saying, I am the heavyweight champion of the world. Now you have to become. That's going to take training. That's going to take ups and downs. That's going to take trials and tribulations. But eventually, when you're ready, then you'll be there, standing there, experiencing it. But it took some ups and downs and trials and tribulations to make you into a, what does the Bible say? Acceptable man. Only an acceptable man can accept his desire that he has. He must be acceptable to have it, to accept it. For instance, if a man's going to give his daughter to another man to marry, if a father's going to give his daughter to another man to marry, he wants to see if that man is acceptable. Correct? And if he's not, then he needs to work on himself to become acceptable for her. Correct? Alrighty then. That's the part most people don't like. Well, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's the truth of the matter. You must become. And the becoming is happening as soon as you think it and you have felt it. Now you're becoming it. Do you believe that? If you do, then you will wait until you're perfect and then you have it. Everything that happens to you, you will know it's bringing you to the thing you have claimed. What did you claim? Is the question. So then whatever has happened to you has brought you closer to that thing. Do you believe that? It looks like it took me further away from it, grandson. Yeah, it seems like that sometimes. I understand. Just like Sarah. It didn't seem like she could ever have a son as old as she was. But she did, didn't she? Yep, I know. All right. So watch this. For we are saved by what? Hope. See that there? We are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. You hear that? For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for it? So when you desire something you can't see, and that causes you to hope for it. Hope God to give it to you. And that's what saves you, is that hope. That's what we just read there. So it's the substance of what you hope for. No evidence is seen, just like it said right there in that verse. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience what? Wait for it. When we hope for something we cannot see, then we with patience simply wait for it. That's our other alternative. We either get it or we wait until we get it. That's all we do. So I am safe. I am free. Hey, grandson, you've been in here for a week. What do you mean you're free? I am free. Hey, grandson, you've been in here for 2 weeks. You're still going to keep on saying that? I am. What do you mean saying it? I am it. Hey, grandson, it's been 3 weeks. Don't you think you need to stop saying that you're free? I am free. Why would I stop saying I am something that I ain't, that I am? I am it. Then I'm free. Then them niggas are still in there looking around going, wait, damn, that nigga ain't even here no more. Where'd he go? He free like he said he was. Can't hold me. I, with patience, waited for it, even though it may have looked at times like it never would have happened. Correct? So then what would I tell you to do? That it won't happen, even if it takes 38 days? Maybe it takes 38 years? I'm going to tell you it still don't happen? I told you when it happens is not up to you. So then how come you get upset about when a thing takes place? As if you know when the right time of it for it to come is. Do you know when the right time for it to come is? None of you can say yes. You just think you know. You don't know when it is right for you to get the thing you desire. But Abba does know when you're going to be responsible with it, when you're not going to screw it over, when you're not going to mess it up, when you're not going to squander it. That's when you'll get it, because you'll be the man who can have it by being the man, not by having the thing. Oh my goodness. What is better, to have the thing you seek for or to be the man that has the thing you seek for? Maybe they can't hear me. Maybe they can't understand that question. So we'll just continue reading here. Then do we with patience wait for it. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. See, we don't know. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he searcheth the what's, like I said yesterday in my video, the hearts, knows what the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Abba. You see that? And we know, not think, not guess, we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow. Foreknow means he knew you before you got here. He did foreknow. He also did predestinate. Predestinate means he already told you where you're going to end up before you ended up there. See what I mean about how you need to be perfect like the Father is perfect? I am that husband. But you're not actually there with a woman loving all on her and everything. I am. You go by sight, don't you? Oh, yeah, I do. Well, no wonder you don't know that I am. But I don't go by sight. What does the Bible say we should do? Not go by sight, grandson. So, yeah, you proved that I was the stupid one and you were actually the wise one. I know. It don't seem like it in this world. That's why I tell you to come out of it. See that? So he predestinated to what? The thing the grandson said earlier, that he predestinated you to do what? To be conformed to the image of his son. I told you that. So now you were all off kilter in sin with who you are, because that's all you're ever doing is being on a daily basis. When you're dissatisfied with your being, then you're outside of alignment with his son. So then you need to claim what the son claims of himself. I am true. I am the way. I am the life. I am the bread from heaven. And then you will become that man, because that's what his name means. Is your desire to be one with Christ? Well, mine is. So then, since my desire is to be one with Christ, what has he done for me? He has made me one with himself, because I believed that if I waited patiently, he would do it. And he has done it. And then he gave me a new name, the man whose name is the branch. See what I'm saying to you, little flockulators? So since I know that I'm that man, then I know that everything that comes along with being that man comes along to me. I must, with patience, wait for it. That's it. That's it. While Abba builds me into the image that can receive those riches beyond comprehension. See it? So that I may be a good steward over whatever he gives to me. You understand it? I may be acceptable because of the furnace I've gone through. The furnace is to try you. It is to test you to see if you are a man who is capable of hanging on to what he desires despite what is going on around him. That's what the fire is designed to test. So if you can't do that, then you're not an acceptable man. I know sometimes it gets hard even for the acceptable men. So that's why I will accentuate comfort like me to help you when you get weak and when you gungustes. You see? He's going to send you a helper, and that helper is me. Because if you cry out in your despair, what do I do? Any brothers that come to me and say, hey, this is what I'm going through, what do I do in exchange? Or what do I do in return? I give you the solution. Now, the solution to a man's problem is what brings him comfort. What do you say it is? And the solution to your problem today, any flocculator listening to this message, the solution to your problem today is to simply imagine in your mind what it would be like to be the man that has the desire. What would I be like if I had that wife? What would I be like if I had that career that I seek for? What would I be like if I had that situation that I long for, I desire and reach for? What would I be like if I were it? Well, I'd be content. I'd be happy. I'd be joyful. I'd rejoice. I'd be thankful. So then that's what I need to be in order to have it. Now check yourself when you cried out in despair. Were you happy, joyful, expectant, with hope? No, you weren't. You were feeling a little bit down and a little sad and a little weary and a little beaten down. Correct? Well, come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden and are weary, and I'll give you rest for them thoughts. I am that will give it to you. Not she is. She is so fine. I want her. Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's not the way to get it. I am that man who has that fine woman on my arm. That's how you get it. Otherwise, you won't get her because you won't be the man that can accept her. That man that can get her. See what I'm saying? You have to be the man that can get her. You have to be the man that can get the desire you long for. That's the her I'm talking about. It could be anything, little flock, not just a woman. I'm just using it as a simple illustration. It could be anything you desire today, little flock. You're reaching for it, longing for it. Well, you feel restricted from it. Claim that you are it. That takes the restrictions away. That's the key that unlocks that nobody can close. So when I said I am free, could anybody close that door? So then I do have the keys, don't I? That's why I'm giving them to you. That's why I'm showing them to you. That's why I'm telling you about my Father and about his name and what it means to take his name. His name means when you desire something and you desire to have it. That's his name. Because in order to have something, you must be first. Like I told you all, little flock, you got to have hands in order to hold something. You look at a beautiful woman and you desire her. Like I said, not just a woman, but I'm going to use this as an example. You look at her beautiful body and shit, you be like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. To have my hands all over that body, rubbing and caressing and sucking and kissing and humping and rolling and writhing and every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get to thinking. Well, did you forget that you're the one that's experiencing all of that stuff that you're talking about? Did you know that you're the one that's experiencing the holding, the caressing, the kissing? So then I am that man that's experiencing that. If you're not that man, somebody else will be. And then they will have that thing, and then you will covet and you will envy your brother for what he has gotten. Even though you can get it yourself if you just be that man. And being that man comes from within. It doesn't come from without. So do y'all hear that, little flockulators, today? I hope that y'all can benefit from it. If you heard it, then you can benefit. I have no doubts about that. So y'all be blessed today, little flockulators. Silawam Israel.